It wasn't about forgiveness. Not anymore. As I pulled up to that familiar driveway in Maplewood, New Jersey, the engine of my Porsche 911 purring like a satisfied predator, I could already picture their faces, the ones that had looked right through me for years. For years of radio silence. And here I was, invited back like some forgotten prop for Aunt Evelyn's visit. They thought I was still the same Emily Hayes, the afterthought kid scraping by on minimum wage dreams. They had no clue about the tech startup I'd bootstrapped into a seven-figure valuation, the loft in Brooklyn Heights overlooking the skyline, or the boardroom battles I'd won while they were busy toasting each other's mediocrity. Tonight, I'd let them see it all. Not to heal old wounds, but to salt them. My name is Emily Hayes, and at 28, I'm the CEO of Vertex Innovations, a software firm specializing in AI-driven analytics for Fortune 500 companies. But this story doesn't start in the glass-walled offices of Dumbo, Brooklyn. It starts in the cramped split-level house where I learned that love was a zero-sum game, and I was always the loser. Born 7 years after they swore off more kids, I was the surprise that turned into a burden. By the time I arrived, Mom and Dad had poured everything into my older siblings, Ryan, the star athlete with his lacrosse scholarships, Olivia, the budding musician who needed endless piano lessons and recitals, and Sophia, the sensitive one who got therapy sessions and summer camps while I got lectures on toughening up. Emily can handle it, they'd say, like I was some unbreakable toy. Hand-me-downs that hung loose on my frame. The attic room with a leaky roof. Birthday cards instead of parties, while Ryan got a backyard blowout for his sweet 16 complete with a bounce house and DJ. I remember sitting on the stairs during Olivia's talent show celebration, listening to the laughter downstairs, wondering why my straight-A report cards never earned me more than a distracted, "Good job, kiddo." It wasn't just the stuff, it was the invisibility. The way Dad would beam at Sophia's dance recitals, but forget to show up for my debate team finals. Mom calling relatives about Ryan's college acceptance, but shrugging off my math Olympiad win with, "That's neat, but help set the table, will you?" They didn't despise me, that would have taken energy. They just overlooked me, like background noise in their perfect family symphony. Every slight etched itself deeper. Not as rage at first, but as a quiet resolve. I kept a mental tally, the times I ate cereal alone because the dinner table conversations revolved around everyone else's day, the school plays where I had lines, but no family in the audience, the holidays where gifts for me were practical, socks, notebooks, while Sophia unwrapped jewelry and Olivia got concert tickets. By high school, I'd stopped asking for rides to events, stopped expecting invitations to family outings. Emily's independent, they'd brag to neighbors, as if it was a choice, not survival. But in that neglect, I found my edge. No one was going to hand me a future, so I'd forge one from the scraps they ignored. At 15, I lied about my age to land a gig at the local diner, flipping burgers after school until my hands blistered. Every tip, every paycheck, funneled into a secret bank account, while Ryan cruised in his hand-me-down Jeep, which Dad had upgraded for him. I biked 3 miles in the rain to work, saving for the day I'd escape. College applications brought the first real fracture. I'd gotten into NYU's computer science program with a partial merit scholarship, but the gap was $20,000 a year. Mom, Dad, about tuition. They exchanged that pitying glance over dinner. Honey, we're stretched thin with Olivia's music conservatory and Ryan's grad school loans. Sophia needs braces, too. Maybe start at community college, as if my dreams were negotiable. That night, overhearing them budget $6,000 for Sophia's prom dress. Limo. The works, I felt something snap. Not tears. Not tantrums. but a cold clarity. I reached out to Uncle Victor, Dad's estranged brother, the black sheep who'd made it big in real estate up in Boston after cutting ties over some ancient feud. His voice on the phone was gruff, skeptical. "So, the forgotten niece needs cash. And your folks don't know?" "No, sir." He chuckled, low and bitter. "Figures. I'll cover it all for years. No strings, but promise me one thing. Don't let them drag you down to their level. Build something they can't touch." 2 weeks later, the first check arrived. I told my parents I'd won a full-ride grant. "That's convenient," Mom muttered. Then pivoted to gushing about Ryan's internship at a law firm. The hits kept coming. For Ryan's college graduation, they surprised him with a used Audi, shiny and loaded. When I asked if I could borrow the family minivan for campus move-in, Dad laughed it off. "Builds resilience. Take the train, it's cheaper." I watched them drive off to Ryan's party while I lugged my bags to the station, rain soaking through my sneakers. But I had Uncle Victor's funding and my diner savings. They didn't know about the fire building inside me. How each dismissal was timber for the blaze. Commuting from Jersey to NYU meant 4 hours daily on packed trains, inhaling stale air and dodging delays. Classes till late afternoon. Then shifts at a campus tech repair shop till midnight. Fixing laptops for spoiled undergrads. Study in the wee hours. Crash for a few. Repeat. It was brutal, but it honed me. The shop owner, Mr. Patel, a retired engineer from IBM, noticed my knack for coding during slow nights. "You're debugging faster than my pros," he'd say, pulling up a chair to teach me real-world algorithms, cybersecurity tricks, how to spot market gaps in software. Don't wait for permission, Emily. Innovate or get left behind. His lessons stuck deeper than any lecture hall. Meanwhile, home life eroded further. I skipped Thanksgiving for a hackathon they didn't notice until dessert. Texting a casual, "Where are you?" "Christmas?" They forgot I was coming home late from work. So no gifts under the tree for me. But the gut punch hit junior year, a group text about a family trip to Orlando. Theme parks. Hotels. The works. "Can't wait." Olivia replied with emojis. I stared at my phone in the empty lab, realizing they'd booked it without me. When I called, Mom sounded breezy. "Oh, we assumed you'd be buried in code. Send pics of your projects." Laughter echoed in the background, Ryan cracking jokes, Sophia squealing. I hung up, tears hot on my cheeks, and poured it into my side project, an AI app for predictive analytics. Mr. Patel found me that night, head down over my keyboard. "Family let you down again?" I spilled it all: the trips, the oversights, the endless second place. He nodded. "No pity. Just truth. Good. Now channel it. The world rewards builders, not beggars. Become untouchable." I wiped my face, coded through the night, and by dawn, had a prototype that would become Vertex's core tech. Graduation arrived with honors in AI specialization and an empty row where family should have sat. Conflicting schedules, the excuse text read. Ryan had a game. Olivia a gig. Sophia exams. Uncle Victor and Mr. Patel clapped loudest as I crossed the stage. 2 weeks later, I launched Vertex from my tiny walk-up in Queens, bootstrapping with savings and Victor's seed money. First clients, small businesses needing data insights. I hustled: cold calls, demos, all-nighters. My family ghosted me harder. No congrats. No visits. Until the text, "Your things are in boxes. Time to fly the nest properly. Love. Mom and Dad." Ryan still crashed rent-free at home. Olivia used the basement as her studio. But me? Out by month's end. I rented a truck, packed alone while they discussed Sophia's college apps over coffee. Yale for our star, Dad beamed. No questions about my startup, my apartment, my life. Just a wave goodbye. The early days were lean, ramen budgets, subway commutes, pitching to skeptics who saw a young woman and dismissed her. But I thrived on it, turning doubt into deals. 6 months in. First big contract, $50K from a midtown retailer. I bought a futon and invested the rest. A year later. Series of funding. $1 million valuation. Moved to a one-bed in Brooklyn. Mr. Patel passed that winter, leaving me a note, for the fighter who coded her way out, grow it big. I did. Hired a team. Expanded to enterprise clients. 2 years, $5 million revenue. Forbes 30 under 30 nod. 3 years, acquired a competitor. Loft purchase with harbor views. For years, $10 million valuation. Partnerships with tech giants like Amazon Web Services. And my family? Not a peep. Until the call, Emily. Aunt Evelyn's in town. Family dinner Saturday. Be there. No, how are you? No apology for the void. Just an order. Like I'd been on pause. I stared at my skyline view. Latte in hand. The hum of my smart home system underscoring the absurdity. For years of building an empire. And they summoned me for show? Uncle Victor's voice on the phone was wry. They want the full cast for Evelyn's ego trip. But you? You've outgrown their stage. Why go? Because they needed to know what they'd discarded. I prepped like a keynote, spa day. Tailored suit that screamed quiet power. Rolex peeking just so. Parked the Porsche blocks away, let the reveal build. Walking up. Heels clicking on pavement I'd trudged as a kid. I felt the old hurt stir. But now armored in success. Inside. The table groaned with Mom's special spread, the china I was banned from as a child. They barely glanced up. Emily's here, Dad mumbled. Seat at the end. Of course. Conversation flowed, Ryan's firm promotion. Olivia's album release. Sophia's med school apps. Costs a fortune. But worth it, Mom sighed. Aunt Evelyn finally turned, and you? Dear? Still tinkering with computers. Before I could speak. Olivia cut in, something techie. Right? Entry-level stuff. I smiled thinly. I run Vertex Innovations, AI analytics for core. Ryan chuckled, must be cozy. No real pressure. The barbs flew, still on the train? Builds grit. Dad winked. Mom checked her watch, train leaves soon. Han, I rose. Drove. Actually. Disbelief rippled. Outside. I hit the remote, Porsche's lights flashed. Engine roared distantly. They followed. Stunned procession. Up close. The car's curves gleamed under lamps. That's a Porsche, Ryan stammered. Starts at $150K. I slid in. Leather embracing me. Vertex just hit 10M valuation. Leading AWS partner. Loft in Brooklyn Heights, bought cash. Jaws dropped. Brooklyn Heights. Sophia squeaked. Millions. Mom clutched Dad. You. Own it. I revved gently. Views beat Jersey. Nice catching up, maybe in another 4 years. Pulled away. Their figures shrinking in the mirror. Faces etched with regret too late. The emptiness hit at the bridge, not triumph. But a hollow echo. They'd call soon. I knew, feigned concern. Hints for help. And they did, voicemails piling, family first. Ryan's investment begs. Olivia's networking please. Sophia's tuition sobs. Even a doorstep ambush. Turned away by my doorman. Dad's layoff lie, Victor debunked it with a Facebook golf post. I blocked. Forwarded to lawyers. In boardrooms. I sealed deals worth more than their home. Nights, in my loft silence, I pondered the cost. What if they'd just seen me? But no, their indifference forged the steel. The best payback? Thriving beyond their reach, in a world they couldn't enter. The city lights welcomed me home. My true family now.